I was also trying to figure it out and fix everything myself. Now I have so much energy. I feel so good. I'm back to the gym.
Hi, Christy. Thank you for joining me today to share your story of transformation from the inside out.
Thanks for having me, Natalia.
I want to ask you some questions for you to share your story about your inner transformation because we looked at your internal organs and also your lifestyle, your emotions, your thoughts. So, my first question is what was the state of your overall health? Digestive, blood work, body composition. I know you work out.
I felt physically that I was in good shape. I've had a love of health and fitness for my whole adult life, so 30 plus years. But internally, I had so many digestive issues, it was throwing everything off. I could not seem to nail down what was wrong with my GI system. There was a lot of bloat, the bubbly rumbling of my stomach to the point where I couldn't fall asleep at night. I couldn't stay sleeping because my gut was so upset. I could look like I was 3 or 4 months pregnant. So I was at the point of wanting to pull my hair out. And I was also trying to figure it out and fix everything myself because I thought, why can't I figure this out? It's obviously something that's, I'm assuming, going in me, but of course I learned it's even more than that. It could be things that are going on me or I'm breathing in can affect that, or just lifestyle in general. I felt like I did a lot of research, but I definitely needed somebody that had the expertise to lead me to a better path of really testing and not guessing. There's a lot of things we can research and look up on social media, but we also find they're very contradicting too. So to get professional help, someone to steer me the right way was the game changer, getting me on the right path.
Now, question, in which areas did you know you were stuck or needed the most help?
Probably figuring out the digestive issues. I could tell I was inflamed because I've always stayed a fairly healthy weight and kept myself within a 5 to 10 pound range of my goal weight. But I had that fluff on me that I just couldn't get down, and didn't seem to matter what I did. I just couldn't alleviate that inflammation and feel better. It was quite a roller coaster because every day was different and I couldn't find what triggered it. What's going on inside me, my digestive system, and why is it so upset with me? And just, it was screaming mad.
Yeah, sometimes the body whispers, the body talks, and sometimes the body screams. We're aware enough to listen to it and say, okay, I gotta do something about this.
Definitely. So that's when I connected with you. I always loved health and fitness to the point where I went and got my own personal trainer's certification because I loved it that much. And if I'm a hairstylist, I always said if I wasn't a hairstylist, I would want to be a dietitian or a trainer or all things in one because it's my passion. And when I saw you, I was like, wow, she is the picture of health. This girl looks like an athlete. She has great skin. You radiated just like confidence and beauty. You held yourself that way. And I also have a great appreciation for women with muscle tone because I have worked out for 30 plus years. I know how hard it is to put on lean muscle, to maintain it, and to expose it too, to make sure that you have that look that you can see the nice muscle that you've worked so hard for. So when I saw you, I was like, wow, she looks really good. What is her secret? So not knowing, I had seen you a month later, was able to ask you what your secret was. And you told me, this is what I do for a living. I'm a nutritionist, dietitian. I do all of this. And I'm like, oh, and it was amazing. And this makes me want to cry because you told me your story. And to see who you were in present day and how amazing you look, to think of what you went through when I heard your story was just enlightening too. That was like, wow, this woman really has it together and she's come a long way, and that your love and your passion, you were just willing to share right there. That was just awesome. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is God sent, like this is meant to be. So I was at the pit of not feeling well, and then you came in like an angel.
I do believe in synchronicities and being in place and at the right time and crossing paths with the people who are going to uplift our state of being, not just physically, but also like mentally and emotionally. And I know with you, we worked a lot on different aspects in addition to your physiology. So this meat suit that I always talk about is a reflection of our inner well-being, emotional, mental, and actual physical well-being. And I think we we addressed a few of these. So what did you master throughout working with me in the program? What did you learn?
Oh, so much. Let me begin with our first meeting. When we dove into it, you right away had me remove things, and they were inflammatory. And you said alcohol. You don't need alcohol to have fun. And that will always stick in my mind. That just made everything feel better in so many ways. And then we removed any grains, which I didn't have much. I even removed dairy. So I felt like right away, before we did any testing, we removed things that were inflammatory that seemed to make me feel better. And then we started with the testing. And I love that because I was anxious to know what was happening, but I was also hopeful to find something because I wanted an answer to why I was feeling so horrible and why my gut was so off all the time. So I looked forward to that and getting the results and the feedback. And once we did the Dutch test for the hormones, and my hormones were wonky and all over the place. I was 50 at the time. So I was thinking, okay, I'm just getting close to menopause maybe. We focused on those. And then we did, let's see, the thyroid, which things were off with all of them. And one great one that I really liked finding out was the gut microbiome testing because it told me that there was a lot of bad bacteria. And I even had to mentally learn that to try to respect my body because I had so much going on in the gut that you told me to dial back the exercise, which was so hard. And I was exhausted. I was having such fatigue. Like I said, the roller coaster was very intense. So you helped me learn that my immune system was really low. That kind of scared me. So I thought, wow, I'm beating myself up physically to try to improve myself, and it was making me worse. So I did dial things back, then adding the supplements that were going to help get rid of the bad bacteria, first of all, and help me start rebuilding my immune system. And the diet also, the nutrition was huge too, as I was putting back things into feed my gut, make that healthy again, give it that environment where it can grow. And I felt really good. And I could feel like I was healing. If you remember, I did the FODMAPs. I found that things were not digesting well. So that kind of shocked me. That was one thing that I realized is we're all different and it's not one size fits all. And you really worked with me through that. It was amazing how using the Healthy app, I would log and even pictures of the food. A lot of times the pictures is what you would call me out. Christy, what is this? Oh no, you shouldn't be doing that. Or when we did dial things in, especially with the FODMAPs, you really helped me learn that even quantity of something. I'm a big eater. So instead of me doing a little bit of something, I'm doing a lot of it. And then sometimes that would make it worse. If I wanted to have some raspberries, maybe have a little scant of raspberries instead of a whole cup of raspberries. So there was so much learning. And like I said, I thought I already knew so much about it, but I didn't know enough about me. So the testing helped me figure out about me and what my body needed. So that really helped greatly.
Yeah, there's some awesome healthy foods out there, but sometimes the GI can only take so much based on the condition of the GI.
Yeah, I definitely felt that I was compromised. I needed to heal. I needed to get my immune system back. And looking back at the fatigue, I remember even I'm in Western New York and we really appreciate when we have sun. I remember last summer when we were going through this and I was so fatigued, my immune system was so down, I felt so broken. I was having to nap every day. I was in shock. What is wrong with me? And I'm not that old and what's happening? And now I have so much energy. I feel so good. I'm back to the gym. I'm respecting when I need a rest day. Just being a woman, I focus around even my cycle, recognizing, okay, take a little bit of a break here. You need some rest. And then you can go again when you're feeling up for it. So there's a lot to that too, that we women need to treat ourselves with respect.
Yeah, and honor our body, love ourselves with the foods. And I think you and I talked a lot about alcohol.
Yeah. I'm the type that I'm a little bit apprehensive and shy. So I always like to loosen up a little bit, but I didn't have a good limit. I guess I'm not a good moderator, even when it comes to food in general or anything in general. I'm like usually an all or nothing. So I've had to learn a bit to moderate things. Alcohol was one of those, and I didn't have a problem. It's just that when I drank it, I just had one and it tasted good. And then I might have 3 or 4. And then it would be like, oh, now I feel awful. And then that affects your whole body. And for days afterwards. And I really think that did do damage to my gut. because it was the regular weekend occurrence that it was happening over and over again. So being without it, I do feel so much better, and there's no reason not to abstain. I think it's society and friends. It's funny how they'll pressure you to eat bad and drink bad, or just drink in general. But it's like when you're out with people, just have this cake or just have this pizza or just have one drink with me. It's our last night out. But I don't want to. I want to feel good, and I want to make a good choice that makes me feel good. Why don't you do what you want to do, and I'll do what I want to do? And instead of encouraging someone to make better choices, or encouraging you not to.
Yeah, that's that huge proof of self-love and self-respect.
Mm-hmm.
You know how your body reacts when you do have the alcohol that really impacts not just the environment of the microbiome, the species, but also the hormones, as with your testing and what that revealed.
Yes, yeah, definitely. That was a game changer too.
Tell me, what were some tangible measurements in terms of anything you would like to share based on the testing, what we did, your body composition, energy levels? You mentioned you feel better. And what do you appreciate the most about working with me?
There's so much there. It was an extreme pleasure to be able to work with you. You're so knowledgeable, and the passion behind it is what you live. I don't feel like a job to you. It's totally your passion. You hand that off to other people, and of course I have a love for it too, so that just helps me feed off of you. And as I said before, I didn't have a lot to change, except I felt more what was inside. I lost 5 or 6 pounds initially, even just quitting the alcohol and the dairy and changing some of what I had been eating. I was incorporating a little bit more and some healthy carbohydrates, like adding sweet potatoes, and I hadn't been doing in chia seeds, flax, things along those lines too, with the healthy fats. I guess that was a nice change for me too, to get me onto a path of broadening my horizons of what I could eat. So you did help me along, giving me modules and homework, like the things to look at and read and study, and the feedback. I love stuff like that. I love things that are what I would say tangible, that I can sit and do and put my hands on, and then I can implement them. I kept my notebooks around. Anytime we did a session, I was taking notes and trying to remember everything that was said, and even the things that came through the Healthy app, any of the diet plans, my scores on any of the testing, I printed all those out. I had to have hard copies. They were on my kitchen counter daily. So even my menu plans, they were just right there in front of me. This is what I did. And you made it so easy to follow because it was laid out and such good choices and things that I loved. It wasn't complex. It didn't make it hard. It was actually really enjoyable. And it was nice to know I could rely on you for anything. If I just needed to reach out, if something else came up, we would play around with the supplements. Some of them were temporary, and then other ones I needed in different times. So that was nice. You had a good handle on that too for me.
The reason for the herbal supplements is just if your test reveals something, or if you want an outcome. I remember you played with HMB supplement. It helps to lose body fat and even boost vitamin D levels and increase gains in muscle. I'm just curious what you learned and what you felt when you were on the protocol, and how you feel now with the ones that you're still taking just for maintenance.
I feel like I did so many things over the time. It was nice to know what I needed to feed my system to make it healthy, even getting it back on track. And I love the combination of the supplements with the food. And I could tell once I was feeling better too. I don't remember if we talked about this much, but I felt like I was coming from a place of malabsorption. So even when I was eating healthy before I met you, things were not absorbing. They were going right through me. I just felt like my immune system was so low, and the malabsorption of the things were just not sticking to me. So once you got me onto the supplements and the healthy food, and I was able to heal, then I felt like I could have that nourishment and actually soak it up and get the nutrients, the vitamins that I needed. And the energy came back. Like I said, I'm back to the gym. I don't feeling tired anymore. Like I can't tell you the last time. Maybe when I'm in my cycle a little bit, but nothing that stands out like before, when I was actually having to lay down and didn't think I could get through the day. And now at the end of the day, I'm like, I better go to bed because it's getting later. And when I wake up in the morning, if it's early, I'm like, I better get out of bed because I don't want to sleep too long. I want to make sure I'm ready to go to bed at night. It's one of those that I feel like I've got the energy that I go all day, and I'm on my feet most of the day and getting my steps in. So yeah, that's in itself huge, and I'm very thankful to have the energy back. I want to be the best me at 50.
Okay, is there anything you would like to add?
I appreciate you, your knowledge, your expertise. I learned so much. And like I said, I feel like I could lean on you anytime. And I do look forward to the future because I'm hoping there's a little bit more in your end that I know it'll speak to me, because I'm drawn to the health and fitness and world of nutrition anyway. So I thank you for all you did to help me and keep me on track too. Thanks, Natalia.
You did the work. I'm a dietitian. I am not a magician. So you were committed and full in.